Good evening. Thanks for joining us for Source 16 News at 10. I'm Tammy Hancock. New this hour in the Source 16 viewing area, Trigg County showed the largest increase in population according to the state's official U.S. Census count released today. Trigg County, which is on Lake Barkley and Interstate 24, grew by 12.6%, while Callaway County, which is on Kentucky Lake, showed the second largest population gain in our viewing area at 7.21%. The new population totals also show that Marshall County grew by 3.38%, followed by Todd County at 2.92%, and Ohio County's population grew by 2.89%. According to the census data, Christian County's population, even including the local Army post, only grew by 121 residents, or 0.16%. Meanwhile, the population in 3 other counties in our viewing area actually declined. Fulton County's 2010 population declined by a negative 12.73%, while Graves County lost a negative 1.04% of its population since 2000, and Hopkins County's population decreased by a negative 0.18%. Overall, the state grew a modest 6.1% between 2000 and 2010 to a total population of 4,339,367 as of last April 1st, according to the U.S. Census Bureau data. In other news, the Christian County Board of Education tonight approved the graduation date, the 2011-12 school calendar, and discussed how Senate Bill 1 will affect the district. The board unanimously approved to set the 2010-11 graduation date for May 27th at the Stadium of Champions. Christian County High School's graduation ceremony will be held at 5 o'clock, and Hopkinsville High School's ceremony will begin at 8:30 p.m. Board members also unanimously approved the 2011-12 school year calendar.
Fall break for students has been shortened 1 day. Fall break for teachers has been shortened 2 days. Opening day for students would be the 9th of August, and the last day for students would be the 14th day of May. We also put a professional day in on President's Day because, you know, we've had a lot of controversy over going to school on President's Day, so we felt like that would be an opportunity to have a good professional day there.
And Christian County Public School Assistant Superintendent Rim Watson explained to the board how Senate Bill 1 will impact local students.
Middle schools will be achievement plus gap plus growth plus college readiness, and for the middle schools that's the Explore test. And then high schools will be achievement plus gap plus growth plus college career readiness plus the graduation rate. And so that's going to be the accountability model that we're now going to be held to. And for the high schools, that's going to be the plan and the ACT score. And what they're going to look for growth is the difference between your plan and your ACT scores. The most drastic change will be at the high schools. Where the high schools will not have a KCCT type format after this year. They're going to have an end of course type format, and the 4 tests they have ready to go are English 2, Algebra 2, Biology, and U.S. History.
In other business, the board also approved a 2-year comprehensive district improvement plan and postponed a central office hiring until after the March 24th budget hearing. Board members then went into closed session and took no action. Hopkinsville's Committee of the Whole met tonight to discuss a public improvement ordinance regarding street lighting. The committee also reviewed a budget timetable for next fiscal year beginning on July 1st. Departments and officials will continue working toward balancing next fiscal year's budget. They were also presented with numerous budget amendments, which included a new motorcycle for the police department and a new car for the mayor. We will have more from tonight's Committee of the Whole meeting tomorrow morning on Wake Up Western Kentucky. 3 local farmers, including a cattle business, received top recognition today. In light of National Agriculture Week, the Chamber of Commerce Agribusiness Committee presented their awards this morning during eye-opener breakfast at the Christian County Extension Office. This year's winners include Malcolm Oates, who was named 2011 Farmer of the Year.
But it has been a struggle, but you know, I've had some ups and downs, but you know, I never let the downs get hold of me. I always look forward to the ups. And good Lord bless me, and I'm very thankful that I've lived in this community. I have a lot of friends, and I hope I don't have an enemy. If I got an enemy, come and visit me, and I'll try to change it.
Oates has owned and operated 4 Mile Farm on 4125 Russellville Road since 1983 and grows corn, wheat, and soybeans. Last year, Oates received the American Soybean Association Southeast Conservation Legacy Award. Meanwhile, cattle business King Livestock was awarded 2011 Agribusiness of the Year. The cattle company, located at 506 East 1st Street in Hopkinsville, has been in business for 43 years and has been passed down through the King family for 4 generations. And Senator Joy Pendleton of Hopkinsville was awarded 2011 Friend of Agriculture. Pendleton sponsored Senate Bill 79, which was passed earlier this month, which clarifies federal regulations for small farm trucks. House Floor Majority Leader Representative Rocky Adkins of Sandy Hook served as keynote speaker. Adkins spoke about multiple bipartisan measures that will work towards combining the agriculture and coal industries for energy sources. A Clarksville man already convicted in a fatal wreck that killed a Fort Campbell soldier in Oak Grove last year was granted a new trial today. A Christian County Circuit Court judge set a March 30th pretrial conference to discuss a new trial date for 21-year-old Antoine Rouse, who was convicted of wanton murder in mid-January in the February 2010 head-on collision that killed 23-year-old Joshua Rogers of Texas. Rouse was scheduled to be formally sentenced to 20 years in prison in March, but his attorney filed a motion to have a new trial based on the discovery that jurors may have decided he was guilty based on information not in evidence, but rather on information they received from one of the jurors about parole eligibility. Due to rising lake levels creating flood conditions, some roads, trails, and campsites have been restricted or closed at land between the Lakes National Recreation Area. LBL officials report the lake level for Kentucky Lake and Lake Barkley is currently 362 feet. The summer pool is 359 feet and is predicted to crest on Saturday at 363.5 feet. According to LBL staff, some trails, roads, and lake access areas that are prone to flooding or in danger from rising lake levels have been closed. LBL staff warns visitors who use the trails, roads, camping areas, and boat ramps to be extremely cautious. In addition, everyone is urged to use caution when crossing creeks, streams, or any areas with standing or flowing water. Turkey Bay off-highway vehicle area will reopen Friday morning after being closed to heavy rainfall that resulted in flood damage and saturated soil conditions. Camping will be limited and some trails are closed due to high water. Motorists traveling Interstate 24 in Livingston and Marshall counties need to be aware of some lane restrictions over the next few days. Beginning tomorrow, Kentucky Transportation Cabinet crews plan to restrict traffic to 1 lane on I-24 between the Tennessee River Bridge at mile marker 29 and the Cumberland River Bridge at the 33-mile marker to allow the patching of potholes. A crew will start work on the westbound lanes around 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, and once work is completed, the crews will move to the eastbound lanes. All work should be completed by 3:30. Meanwhile, a bridge inspection team has completed their detailed inspection of the eastbound lane of the I-24 Tennessee River Bridge and now has moved to the westbound lanes where motorists can expect lane restrictions and reduced speed limits. This work zone is located at the Marshall-Livingston County line and will be in place between 8:30 and 5:30 p.m. each day through Sunday. Well, if you're looking for something to do over spring break or the weekend, you could visit the Pennyroyal Area Museum. During the month of March, the museum has a poster exhibit of the women's suffrage movement sponsored by the National Women's History Project.
This timeline takes in the history of women's suffrage from 1840 to present day. And it's 8 panels, and it's quite interesting to go through each panel and to see where women began to speak out for their rights.
The exhibit also features the stories and history of 11 Hopkinsville women during the suffrage movement.
And one of them was able to vote just shortly after the 19th Amendment, giving women the right to vote. That this woman from Hopkinsville made her first vote just shortly after that was passed in Congress in 1919.
Admission is $2 for adults, $1 for seniors and children, and members get in free. The Pennyroyal Area Museum is located at 217 East 9th Street in downtown Hopkinsville. Kentucky's Homeland Security Director has resigned. Governor Steve Beshear announced that Tom Preston, who has led the Kentucky Office of Homeland Security since 2008, resigned March 15th to return to his former business. The governor says Gene Kaiser will assume the position of acting director until a permanent replacement is named. Kaiser has 37 years of state government experience and most recently served as the deputy executive director of KOHS. One of the longest-running, still active youth football programs in the nation, Hopkinsville's Bud Hudson Youth Football League, is about to get its own fan club. Hopkinsville Christian County Boys and Girls Club Executive Director Roberto Serrano says it's been 60 years in the making for the club to create a Bud Hudson Alumni Association.
In 1951, Mr. Bud Hudson started a football and a baseball league with over 100 kids. And so if you can imagine 100 kids a year for 60 years, that's a lot of alumni that have played and had the fun and enjoyed his teachings and his successors' teachings. And so it's really just a special way for the community to get together, to bring young and experienced together to fellowship.
According to Serrano, hundreds of area residents have benefited from the local youth football league over the years.
Football has a unique way of teaching teamwork, discipline, and hard work. And I think so many of our community leaders have participated in Bud Hudson, from Wally Bryan to Carter Hendricks to NFL players like R2 Spinner. There's a whole lot of people, to Ardell Owens, who's a coach at Hoptown Middle. So there's just really so many folks have participated and benefited from Mr. Bud Hudson's experience, to Mac Major at Higgins Insurance, to Lee Major, to Win Radford. It's just so many different leaders, people who are doing great things, who've gone on to great successes. The dentist, Dr. Nunn, played as well. Wally Lyon has played. It's just an ongoing number of folks.
The club is currently looking for former players, coaches, and officials who participated in the program to share their stories of their Bud Hudson days. The executive director says pictures are also being collected for a yearbook that will be available later this year, with an alumni meet and greet planned for August 13th. For more information about the Bud Hudson Alumni Association, contact the Hopkinsville Christian County Boys and Girls Club at 887-4020. And Friday's Mega Millions jackpot is up to $201 million, and Saturday's Powerball jackpot is $85 million.